What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Cyber's Xperience. This is the series where we talk about the products or games that I've been using the most. And so firstly, I have to apologize for there being no initial face cam in this video. I'm using a different software, and I can't get the face cam working. But let's get into it. This is SuperHOT VR. It's basically a VR shooter where time only moves when you move, and it is really cool. Let's get into it. Now, like I said, the core aspect of SuperHOT VR is that time only moves when you move. Now, I feel like this makes this much more strategical, even though it still is a VR shooter, as I found it that you can still get blindsided in this game, believe it or not. There was one level where there was like 5 enemies around me with guns, and I just had to keep track of how many bullets were coming at me so I could dodge them. But it's just so cool also to see like the bullets flying through the air as well. Just thought I'd mention. Let's get into the combat, and I have to say the combat is weird. Not just because it just seems unrealistic. Not just because time only moves when you move, so we have to be extra strategical, but there's a few elements that just set me off, such as like when you punch an enemy, his weapon comes flying towards you much more than it would in real life. And also, the ability you gain... Why can't I talk? The ability you gain later in the game where you can, like, defeat an enemy from a distance, that just seems weird and it doesn't really work. But overall, when you, like, grab a knife and then do a circle and slice all the enemies, or you just pull a move that's, like, really clutch with, like, getting a gun out of the air and then blasting all the enemies. It just feels so cool and you feel awesome. I have to say, this VR game is the VR game that feels the most amazing to play. I also have to say about SuperHOT VR is that while it can make you feel super cool while like, I don't know, like swinging your knife around or like tossing a weapon or like a bottle at an enemy and it like nearly missing them but hitting them and then their weapon flies through the air and you blast everyone. While it does feel awesome, I have to say that this is one of the most frustrating games, not even just VR games. This is one of the most frustrating games I have ever played, because if you had seen my first ever video on this game, you may have seen that it took me 30 minutes to finish one level, and then the video I made after that, I finished 3 levels in like 15 minutes. So it can be really frustrating. So while you will feel really cool in like the first few levels, I just have to warn you, in the later few levels, it can be really frustrating. I have to give the developers prompts on one thing, and is that it never seems to get old unless you spend like a ton of time in the game, which by then your brain probably would have been melted from wearing a virtual reality headset that long. But it never feels old because like, I don't know, it's just like you're just constantly like, I don't know, but near like some of those later levels, it's more like, it's less of, oh, this feels so cool. It's more like, I have to do this! I will defeat the level! Like, that's really what kept me going in the first few levels. So now, I also have to say that there is a super generic mechanic in this game, and I would have liked to seen that not done, even though it's probably in the main SuperHOT game, even though I've never played that. And it's the average thing where it's like, enemies have unlimited ammo, but you have limited ammo. And it wouldn't be as bad if you had more bullets, but then again, that aspect's more of the hardness. But like, obviously in like the Call of Duty campaigns, you barely ever run out of ammo, if at all, and the enemies have unlimited ammo. But I counted it. You have like 20 shots with an SMG, 7 with a pistol, and like 2 with a shotgun. And while it can make like it makes you need to learn to use your ammo well. It's like when you see an enemy unload like 5 rounds of a shotgun on you, and well, if you're still alive, then prompts to you, and then you finally get them, and then and then you only get to shoot twice. It just makes it feel kind of unfair. Whereas, this technically means, just think about this, guys. This technically is one of the few games where, the enemies are more stronger than you. Think about it. You both die in one hit, but because they have unlimited ammo, that just sets them over. I really have to say that at this core, this game is like a challenging VR shooter / strategy game, because while it is a shooter, it has shooter mechanics. It's strategical because you have unlimited time to plan. Like, just think about it. If I lied down and took a nap during one of my play sessions, I would still be at the same segment, and I wouldn't have died yet if I got up. But also, it would be pretty difficult to nap with a VR headset on. But also, I have to say that this game has gotten me the hottest and the sweatiest of all VR games. This is